Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we shall continue with solving equations. The scope of this video, two-step equations right here, and it goes all the way up to fractional linear equations. This is what we will be solving within this video. So let's start with two-step equations. Our first example says 50 minus a over 11 equals 58. So here, the simple way to solve this is just to take the 50 to the other side. So now we have negative a over 11 equals 58 minus 50. The negative sign is linked to the term that comes after it. So taking the 50 away does not remove the negative sign. The negative is attached to the a over 11. So it stays there even when we move the 50. So now we have negative a over 11 equals 8. 58 minus 50 is 8, obviously. We can now multiply both sides by 11. So these would cancel out. We have negative a equals 88. 8 times 11 is 88. So a equals negative 88. And this would be our final answer. And this is correct. Let's try another problem. We have 6y minus 29 equals negative 35. We take the 29 to the other side. So 6y equals negative 35 plus 29. So 6y equals negative 6. And then we divide both sides by 6. These would cancel out, and then y equals negative 1. And this is correct as well. Here we have negative 43 equals x over 5 minus 47. Let's first take the 47 to the other side. The negative is attached to the 47, so it goes to the other side as positive 47 minus 43. And this is all removed from the right-hand side. And now we have x over 5 only on the right. Of course, we can simplify 47 minus 43. This is 4 equals x over 5. And we can multiply both sides of the equation by 5. So we get 20 equals x. So therefore, x here would equal to 20. And this is the correct answer as well. Let's move on to two-step equations with fractional coefficients. So in this case, the first step to do is to take the 23 to the other side. So we have 7 plus 23. Of course, the negative here is attached to the 23, so that it goes with it to the left, but we change the sign so it's positive. However, this negative is attached to the 5 over 6, so we keep it right next to it, right there. So negative 5 over 6 equals times z, I mean. So 7 plus 23 on the left, this gives us 30, equals negative 5 over 6 times z. We can now multiply by 6 on both sides. 30 times 6 gives us 180. And the 6 here cancels the 6, so we have negative 5z. We will divide by negative 5 on both sides. So the negative 5 cancels out with the negative 5 on the right. We just have z on the right. On the left, we have negative 36. So the final answer here would be negative 36. And this is correct. Let's move on to another problem. We have 20 equals negative 16 plus 4 over 9z. So first we begin by taking the negative 16 to the other side. Remember that the negative is attached to the 16, so it is taken to the left with it. But since we're moving across the equal sign, we're moving to the left, so the negative becomes positive. So we have 20 plus 16 on the left, and we have 4 over 9z on the right. Now 20 plus 16 gives us 36, and this is equal to 4 over 9z. We can multiply both sides by 9. So the 9 cancels out with the 9. Now I'm going to show you a nice trick. 36 times 9 gives us a large number. So I won't calculate that. I will not evaluate that right now. I will just keep it as 36 times 9. And I'm going to show you why right now. So 36 times 9, it stays as it is. And this is equal to 4z. Now we want the z to be alone. So let's try dividing both sides here by 4. And the 4 cancels out. And then instead of multiplying 36 by 9, then dividing by 4, I'm going to do it the other way around to get smaller numbers to work with so as to do less effort while evaluating. So 36 divided by 4, this gives us 9 on top and 1 at the bottom. Now I only have to multiply 9 by 9, which is 81, and this is simple or simpler to evaluate. So 81 equals z, or z equals 81. So this is correct. Let's do a third example here. We have 25 equals 10 plus 3 over 10c. We will take the 10 to the left first. We have 25 minus 10 equals 3 over 10c. So 25 minus 10 gives us 15. This is equal to 3 over 10c. Let's multiply both sides by 10. The 10 cancels out. And now we have 15 times 10, which is 150. And this is equal to 3 times c. Now let's divide by 3 on both sides. These will cancel out. And 150 divided by 3 gives us 50. So 50 equals to c. So c equals 50. Now let's move on to level 2. Here we have fractions next to each of the terms. We have 3 fractions to deal with. So there is a nice trick when we have a lot of fractions to deal with. Let's multiply everything here by 8 and see what happens. And I'm also going to go ahead and multiply everything again by 3. I'm going to show you why I'm doing that very short. So for the first term, we have 8 in the numerator and 8 in the denominator. So these would cancel out. For the second term, we have 3 and we have 3, so these would cancel out. And for the third term, the 8 cancels out with the 8. So what are we left with? For the first term, we have negative 1 times 3. So we just have negative 3. And this is equal to, now we have 8 and negative 1, as well as x. So these would give us negative 8x. And finally, for the third term, we have negative 7 and 3. So this gives us negative 21. And now we can proceed to solve for x as if it's a simple linear equation. So let's take the negative 21 to the left-hand side. So we get negative 3 plus 21 equals negative 8x. So 21 minus 3, this is 18, equals negative 8x. You can divide both sides by negative 8. And then these would cancel out. And 18 over 8 gives us 9 over 4. And it's still negative, of course. So our final answer would be negative 9 over 4. And this is the correct answer. Let's try this one more time. So here we have three denominators. We have 6 and 9 and 2. So let's multiply everything by 6. Let's also multiply everything by 9. We can create a third layer where we multiply everything by 2, but that won't be necessary, and I will show you why in this case, because 6 cancels out the 2, and we're going to see that right now. So the 6 here cancels the 6, the 9 cancels the 9, and here I don't need to multiply by 2 because I already have 6, which cancels out the 2, but we can write here 3 and 1 because we're simplifying 6 over 2, and this is the same as 3 over 1. If we divide both sides by 2 up and down, we get 3 here and we get 1 here. So that's what I did right there. So what remains in this equation is negative 1 multiplied by 9, which is negative 9. And then we have 8 times 6 times z. So this is plus 48z. And this is equal to 9 times 3 times negative 1, which is negative 27. We're solving for z, so let's take the negative 9 to the other side. So we have 48z on the left, and we have negative 27 plus 9. So this is negative 18. And we have 48z on the left again. We want z to be alone, so let's just divide by 48 on both sides. So these would cancel out. And we want to simplify negative 18 over 48. You can try dividing by 2. So if we divide here by 2, we get negative 9 over 24. We can divide by 3 as well. So we get negative 3 over 8, and this will be our final answer since we cannot simplify any further. So negative 3 over 8 is our final answer. And this is correct as well. Let's try a third example. Here we are solving for y. We have 3 and 3 and 2 in the denominators. So of course here we can just multiply everything by 3. And then multiply everything by 2 as well. So 3 cancels out with 3. 3 cancels out with 3. 2 cancels out with 2. So what remains here is 2 and 2 and y. So you have 4y minus, and here you have 1 and you have 2. So you have 1 times 2, which is 2. And then this is equal to 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. So you take the 2 to the other side, you get 4y equals negative 3 plus 2. 4y equals negative 1. Therefore, y equals negative 1 over 4. And this will be our final answer. So negative 1 over 4 is our final answer. So let's move on to three-step linear equations. So this is quite simple. All you have to do is collect the like terms on the same side. So we have 4x, we want to take it to the right. So we have now 5x minus 4x on the right. And the 11 goes to the left. So we have 7 minus 11. So this will be negative 4 equals x. And the final answer would be negative 4. Let's try another example. Here we have 7x minus 7 equals 9x minus 23. Let's take the 7x here. So I like to take the smaller number to the larger number to have a positive result. So here I have 9x minus 7x. This will give me a positive result for x. And let's take the 23 to the left. So it becomes -7 plus 23, or 23 minus 7. So we have 16 on the left and 2x on the right. You can divide both sides by 2. So x equals 8. And this is the correct answer as well. So in this case as well, let's take -12x to the right. Now we're going to get -9x plus 12x on the right. And let's take the 5 to the left. So this would be -5 plus 2, -3 on the left, and 3x on the right. Divide both sides by 3. You get x equals -1. And this is correct as well. We move on now to linear equations with distribution. So when you have a number next to a bracket, normally you should distribute, but here it's much faster and easier to just divide both sides by 3, because then the 3 cancels out and you get 5y minus 1 on the left, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. Now you can take the one to the right. You would have 5y equals 1 plus 9, 5y equals 10. You can now divide by 5 on both sides, and you would get y equals 2. And this is correct. Here we have 8 times y minus 4 equals 40. Again, instead of distributing, I'm just going to divide both sides by 8. This is much faster. 8 cancels out, so you have y minus 4 equals 40 divided by 8, which is 5. So y equals 4 plus 5, y equals to 9. Here we have 4 times 2y minus 1 equals 12. Let's divide by 4 on both sides. 4 cancels out with 4, so you get 2y minus 1 equals 12 over 4, which is 3. You can take the one to the right-hand side. So 2y equals 3 plus 1. 2y equals 4. Divide by 2 on both sides. You get y equals to 2. So let's put 2 here. And this is correct as well. Now let's move to the more advanced level, level 2. So in this case, I would advise you to start distributing to make life easier. Let's just distribute the -4 on both sides of or both terms in the bracket. -4 times -2x gives us positive 8x. -4 times -4 gives us positive 16. Minus 3x minus 4 equals 27. 8x minus 3x gives us 5x. 16 minus 4 gives us positive 12. And now it's a simple linear equation. You can take the 12 to the other side. You get 5x equals 27 minus 12. 5x equals 15. Divide by 5 on both sides. X equals 3. So 3 would be the final answer here. Let's try another one. Again, I'm going to distribute the -5 over both terms. So -15x plus 15 plus 4x minus 5 equals -12. Now collect the like terms. So -15 plus 4 gives us -11x. And plus 15 minus 5 gives us plus 10. and this is equal to negative 12. Now let's take the positive 10 to the other side. You get negative 11x equals minus 22. Divide by negative 11 on both sides. So these cancel out. You get x equals, these cancel out as well, and 22 over 11 equals 2. So x equals 2. This is the correct answer here as well. Let's try a third example. So let's distribute the negative 3 over both terms. We get 6x plus 6 minus 2x, excuse me, plus 2. And this is equal to 28. Now collect the like terms. So 6x minus 2x, this gives us 4x. And 6 plus 2 gives us plus 8. This is equal to 28. Let's take the 8 to the right-hand side. So we get 4x equals 28 minus 8. 4x equals 20. Divide by 4 on both sides. X equals 5. So let's type in 5 here. And that is correct as well. So let's move on to level 3. So let's distribute the 2 first on those two terms. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 9 is minus 18. Here we have to distribute as well. So we get we get positive 2x minus 2 plus 9x. Now we collect the like terms on the right. So 2x and 9x, this gives us 11x minus 2. And on the left, we have 6x minus 18. No change there. Now we can take the 6x to the right. So we get 11x minus 6x. And we can take the negative 2 to the left. So this is negative 18 plus 2. Remember, the negative is attached to the 18. So we have negative 16 equals 5x. Divide by 5 on both sides. You get negative 16 over 5 equals x. And excuse me, and this is the correct answer as well. Here we have 4 minus a bracket. So when you have a minus before a bracket, it's as if you have a negative 1 here. And you're distributing the negative 1 over the two terms of the bracket. So it becomes 4, and then negative 1 times negative x, this is plus x. Negative 1 times negative 1, this is plus 1. Plus 2x equals x plus 9. So let's collect the like terms. 4 and 1 gives us 5. X and 2x gives us 3x. And this is equal to x plus 9. Let's take the x to the left, and let's take the 5 to the right. So we have 3x minus x equals 9 minus 5. So 2x equals 4. Divide by 2 on both sides. You get x equals 2. For this problem here, we will start by writing down the negative 8 as it is. And then we will distribute the 5 onto the bracket. So we get 10x plus 5 equals. The negative sign here is distributed as well. It's as if it's negative 1, like we said before. Negative 1 times negative 7x is positive 7x minus 9. And then we have plus x. So negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3 plus 10x equals 7x plus x, that's 8x, minus 9. We take the 8x to the left, so 10x minus 8x equals, and then we take the negative 3 to the right, so we get negative 9 plus 3. So 2x equals negative 6. Divide by 2 on both sides. We have x equals negative 3 as a final answer. So negative 3 here is correct. And our final exercise for this video is fractional linear equations. So here we have 10 equals 4 over 3 times the bracket. Of course, if you distribute the fraction, it will be very complicated to do. So the easier thing to do here is to just multiply both sides by 3 first. And since this is multiplied by this, we don't need to distribute anything. We'll just cancel out this 3 with this 3 here. And we get 30 on the left. And this is equal to 4 times 8x plus 6. Now we can distribute, it becomes much easier. So if we distribute the 4 here, we get 32x plus 24. And you still have 30 on the left as it is. You can take the 24 to the left-hand side. So 30 minus 24 equals 32x. So 6 equals 32x. Now we divide by 32 on both sides. These cancel out, and 6 and 32 become 3 over 60. So x equals 3 over 60. And this is correct as well. Excuse me. Same idea here. We have 2 in the denominator. So before we start solving, let's just multiply by 2 on both sides of the equation. So the 2 cancels the 2, and we have 32 equals 7x minus 6. We'll take the 6 to the left-hand side. So 32 plus 6 equals 7x. And then we can divide by 7 on both sides. These cancel out. We just have 38 over 7 as a final answer. For the third and final problem, we will multiply both sides by 4. The 4 cancels with the 4. We have 32 on the left. And then 1 doesn't really affect anything, so we can just use the same bracket as it is on the right. 1 times anything doesn't really change its value. We just have 5x minus 8. Now we take the 8 to the left-hand side. So 32 plus 8 equals 5x. Therefore, 40 equals 5x. Divide by 5 on both sides. You get 8 equals x. And this will be our final answer. So this brings us to the end of our video. I hope this has been beneficial. Thank you for watching.